I can't provide what I want to provide.
Right.
Like this. I need more. I want the bigger table.
Yep.
So it's funny, like we never met,
Yep.
Until this week. We've been connected, obviously, did some IG stuff together, but like two people on two opposite sides, never met each other, same story. I can only hope I'm on that same path.
But how many people are out there that feel like they're level 10 people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That have the skill set. And that's really where I was going with that last answer, is that the world rewards skills. The people who are the most skilled make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the skill has to be packaged.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be marketed.
Mm-hmm.
Then it is monetized.
Exactly.
And I think somewhere in that cycle of finding the X factor, packaging the X factor, marketing the X factor, monetization of the X factor is where people struggle.
Yeah. And I don't think too, it's funny because like it was that way in teaching. And then I went into sales and I started at Paychecks.
Okay.
Crushed it there, top 20 in the company. Then I went to the medical device industry, did very, very well there.
Yeah.
But I still felt I was in the wrong vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't until I started this where I felt like, okay, I'm home.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take some time. We made some great moves and we've made some mistakes and, but I finally feel like, okay, I'm fulfilling that 10 level right now. It's like, I could do this forever. I feel, in fact, when it's funny, my biggest fear is like, oh my God, like, how long do I get to do this? Like, am I still going to be doing a show when I'm 70? I hope so.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want like 10 more years.
Yeah. Well, I think when you're looking at these things, it's like, what do you love doing? What could you be the best in the world at doing?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the economic engine?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my skill sets is monetization of concepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creating concepts that can be monetized. The Greatness Factory, I always tell people it's like right now it's a $10 million idea that could be a $100 million idea. So it's like it all started in the brain. You go there in the mind before you go there in the body. And so it's like, in the end, what is my conscience telling me I should be doing?
Mm-hmm.
And when you kind of combine all of that, you're like, this is really what I'm supposed to be doing.
So good, dude. You told a funny story in there. I want you to tell on here on the show. For 30 years, no state championship.
Yep.
You had never won one either.
Yep.
And you thought this was gonna be this big elaborate thing. You tell yourself the story, right? You win the state championship. Why don't you walk through your celebratory routine with the audience?
It's like you, in your mind, you think you're going to win a championship, and thousands of people are going to be celebrating with you, and there's about 10,000 people at the game, and that was cool when we won that championship. But then you do interviews, and then you see your family, and then you do all these things, and so by the time we got finished that night, it's like it's midnight.
Yeah,
it's on a Saturday night. I got this big gold basketball. I'm like, let's go celebrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, where are we going to go? There's nothing that's open.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I was starving. I mean, literally, because the game was like at 4, and then by the time I do all that stuff, and so by the time I got to the end of the night, man, there was nothing to do. I was starving. At those days, I wasn't married. In those days, I was a single dude.
Okay.
And I didn't have any. So like one of my buddies went with me, and I'm like, man, we got to go eat. And we ended up going to Steak and Shake.
Oh my God.
Because that was the only thing that was open.
Right.
And I'm like, I just walk in with the gold basketball, sit it down, because you can imagine what these people are thinking at Steak and Shake. And they're like, I'm really hungry. I'd like a double steak burger. And that was my celebration.
Mm.
I took it back, took it home with me. Took it back on Monday morning to my boss, who hired me when I was 22 years old,
mm-hmm.
as a young assistant to be a head coach. And I said, put it in the trophy case, man. And then I said, what's next?
I love that.
And that's how big time people celebrate. The prey drive is not activated by capturing something. If you study animals, like when I wrote the book, Flip the Switch, it was kind of based on these two words, prey drive. And I trademarked those two words in humans, okay? Because it's an animal. A dog has a prey drive. And that's the animal's ability to stalk, capture, and kill prey. All right. And I think humans have this drive, but it's not to stalk, capture, and kill. It's to see something with the eyes, optically, or in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've spoken to blind business owners before, and they couldn't see it with the eyes, but they saw it in their mind. Okay. And then to pursue it. And when I was studying the animal, I missed something the first time, but then I went back and researched it. The dog is most motivated not by capturing the prey, but by the mere pursuit, by its ability. And I went to a guy who had like world-class hunting dogs. And I said, tell me when the dog is most motivated. He said, when it knows it gets to go hunting.
Yes.
Not when it captures it. So when you capture something, a championship, you make $1 million, you buy a nice car, whatever it is that you do, you give away money to charity. Like that's may have a fleeting moment of a celebration. It's like, this is good. It's like when I'm flying on my plane. I bought a plane in 2017 because I was away from my kids all the time, and everybody tells you how expensive owning a private jet is, and it is expensive, and it's only gotten more expensive. But but people who tell you have never bought one, and they don't know what they're talking about. You can partner on them. It's like real estate, so I rent mine when I'm not using it. But if you're on that plane by yourself with just you and the pilots, it's like a moment of like, now this is cool.
Yeah.
Like I worked hard to do this, right? And you want more of that.
Sure.
But it's a fleeting thing, man.
You know, it's crazy because like a lot of people will ask me questions like, why do you do so much?
Yep.
Why do you keep doing? Like where you're at right now, this is massive. You've grown so much. I was like, yeah, but I've done it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, like, if I don't pursue more, I die inside.
Yeah.
Like this is not the end game. You know, and again, I'm a spiritual guy too, you know, but I can't find anywhere in the Bible where it says retire.
Yeah. Well,
I could be wrong.
The retirement was made up by the government. Okay. And they're not very good at making up concepts.
Clearly.
So not that they're bad people, but the word retire, if you notice when I speak, I really break down words. Like I take a word and I go, what is it? The word retire means to be taken out of use.
Ooh.
That's what it means. It's you're taking something out of use. Okay. My grandfather was an entrepreneur and I loved him, and I would go see my granddad, and he was so skilled. He could build houses, he could build cabinets. He had a farm. He's like a Tennessee country boy. That was just like a blue collar millionaire, and worked hard and figured out how to make money. And I used to go see him, and he would say, it's out there, son. You just got to reach for it. Or if you got to want to, you can find a how to. He would give me all these little things. Well, he got up and worked every day. Worked the farm, worked this. He'd come home at lunch. My grandmother would make him lunch. Then he'd go back out to work.
Yep.
Okay. And he was vibrant. And then he retired. And my mother, who's a nurse, said to me one day, it's almost as if everything in your grandfather's life went downhill when he retired. His mind went downhill. His body went downhill. And so when you really think about this, you retire. This is what the government tells you, or people tell you, work your whole life so you can retire. You can be taken out of use, but there's no purpose.
Yeah.
What you really run out of is purpose. Joe Paterno, when they fired him at Penn State, he was 82. Quickly. He was dead in less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened? He ran out of purpose. They took away his passion, his purpose. So pray drive is like, I need to get up and pursue something.